Small business owners, because they are in direct contact with the customers, they're able to understand the pain and interest of the customers much better as compared to the larger companies. So my question is, when you were this small business owner, what did you know that you wish Airtel knew about the customers?
Yeah, I think I would just say two things, right? I think the small business owner has actually three superpowers in my mind, which allows India as a unique market where I think there have been probably 5 different scenarios in the last 20 years where people have said kiranas and the small businesses are dead. And they've all sprung back, and they've sprung back with force and reinventing themselves. I think the first strength that the small businesses bring that you mentioned is they have deep relationships with their customers. The second is that the entrepreneurial spirit of the small shop owner in India or the small business owner in India is unparalleled. They work 24/7. Your viewers may have a lot of people whose parents run small shops. They would probably have taken no holiday in their life.
Yeah.
Like they would not take any holiday because they don't want to keep their shop shut. It is so popular that in the north, you would say that very rarely anybody would say that शाम को दुकान बंद करके घर आते हैं. Nobody would say कि दुकान बंद करेंगे. The real word, the word people use is दुकान बढ़ा के आ जाओ. Because it's so important to them that a shop should not close. If a shop is open, it is open all the time. So that sense of ki my life and death is linked to this one shop is an entrepreneurial spirit. Right or wrong is a personal choice of the business person, but I think that makes a huge, like no big company can compete with that. And I think the third one is a loyal set of people who are willing to work with them through thick and thin. Because, you know, every shop owner you'll find that they would have 2-3 ekdam like loyal people who have been with them through and through across generations. बच्चों से भी दोस्ती है, यारों से भी सब कुछ. I think that's the third thing that makes small business owners successful. What did I know that Airtel did not know? I think, first off, I think I owe a lot to Airtel and people like Ajay Puri, Manoj Kohli, who were, Ajay used to be CEO of Airtel Odisha at that point of time. He did very well at Airtel. I think recently, has retired from Airtel. And Manoj, of course, came to work at SoftBank later. I think I have learned so much from them. So I owe a lot of what I have learned to my SIM card selling days. But I think if I have to share about one or two things that I think Airtel did not know, the first is I think Airtel had a particular focus on a set of shop owners. Their particular focus was any shop owner which was in electrical or anything to do with some form of electronics or technology, they could be better distributors or sales companies. Whereas I focused almost significantly on the kirana shops because I saw that kirana shops had significant frequency of usage. In telecom, giving the SIM card is actually the easiest part of the job. The real job is the ARPU, which is making sure that they can have regular recharges.
Yeah.
And I thought that if we were able to focus a lot more on kirana stores, we'll be able to make a bigger difference. I don't know if Airtel knew it or not, but I think in my town, I was a lot more focused on this segment. The second is more than money, emotional validation mattered more to my retail partners. And I'll give some secondary example of it. So Airtel would always have what is called a trade scheme. It's a very popular word in general trade. So it would say that if you sell 5 SIM cards, you'd get this much as a bonus. If you sell 20, you get this as a bonus. I replaced one of those from cash to kind.
Okay.
So instead of getting cash at 5 SIM cards, you would receive a dinner with your wife at the only hotel that Raigada had. Now that only hotel was actually a 2-star hotel. But you know, I think for our town, it was the only 5-star hotel, to be honest. And I sent letters to all their houses saying there is this dinner option. What it led to is this becoming a family discussion where the husband or the wife of whoever is running the shop would ask the other partner saying, by when are you going to be able to sell these 5 SIM cards? Because we might as well go to this dinner. So I think these little things made a difference, which I think maybe Airtel knew. But I think more than that, at least I was able to be creative enough to say, I will come up with ideas that matters to my store owners and their families and be able to work with them to make them successful.
And this also saves cost.
This saves cost, of course.
Because a dinner is a much more cheaper kind option to give to somebody rather than giving them cash.
I think so, and you can also, of course, negotiate with the restaurant owner to get a better deal at volumes. But it's also something that people can flaunt, right? Like
exactly.
Out of 300 store owners, the 5 who went to the restaurant would say, you know, like I was called to go to the restaurant to be able to have dinner because I had a great outcome. So I think, you know, people appreciation is as or more important than monies. But I think that's one of the things that you can never have enough of or give enough of, even in a in any other business setting also. So I think that's one thing that is one that I reflect on myself, saying how can I do more of it myself as well.
This is so interesting, man.
Hi guys, thank you so much for watching the Indian Business Podcast. If you find value in our work, please hit that subscribe button, because for you it might be a zero effort task, but for us that subscriber count is an important instrument to get great guests to our podcast and to make this podcast better for you. So if you find value, please subscribe.